in your Fabazine you will find 2 mug rugs, but if you're a little bit canny, you can possibly add some plain fabric or some spotty fabric and actually make 4 mug rugs. So we'll really simple construction to this one, so we'll take you through how it goes together. You will get 2 backings and 2 fronts for each of your mug rugs. Now I advise putting a wadding or a batting in here. I've just used a red felt just for something a little bit different this time. That's not included, so you need to cut a piece of batting, wadding, felt, whatever you like, that's the same size as either the front or the back. They're exactly the same size. Now, because you've got a batting or a wadding in there, you can, maybe do some free motion or some embellishment on these pieces if you wish. If you don't, then that's also absolutely fine. Maybe you just want to do some standard quilting on there. It's entirely up to you. What you also get within the kit is a piece of the red elastic. Now this, you need to cut into 4 pieces. So cut it in half, and then we'll half that again, and cut that in half. It's really easy to cut. You don't need any kind of specialist scissors for it. It's nice and easy. Before I add the elastic, I just wanted to have a quick look about measuring as well. So if I pop that, this is a fairly standard size and shape mug. If I pop that one down and take it all the way around, I've got about ½ an inch on this side here, and that will be your 2 seam allowances, 1/4 inch on each side, so that will fit that one perfectly. If you've got a slightly smaller mug, then what you might want to do is just measure that up first. So let's get that right to that edge, all the way around. And as you can see, you've got quite a bit extra on here. So you want to measure it another ½ an inch. And then whatever the gap is that's left here, you need to divide that by the 2 sides. So say that's an inch for ease of math's sake. I would take ½ an inch off this side, and I would take ½ an inch off this side, because otherwise my design is going to shift round. So that's how to measure it. Next is adding the elastic. So we're going to pop that down first and get it nice and straight. Now you may want to check your positioning again with your mug to check that that's going to come just towards the base of the handle. Let me get that in the middle there. That's going to come just towards the base of the handle, and then if I just hold my fingernail there, that's where I want my next one to be. And when you pin the elastic, make sure that you pin it nice and straight, because remember, you're going to be sewing a 1/4 inch in here, so if you put it kind of coming diagonally, it's not going to work so well and you're going to lose your position. So you need to pin it straight, stretch it along, and then pin it straight in the other position. Now you can see as I pulled it there, it's just started to bunch up a little bit. That's fine, don't worry about that. You can stretch that flat as you sew past those ends. It's more important that you get the elastic straight and in the correct position. So once that's in and done, you are going to add both sets of elastic, one on either end, and then you're going to put your top layer on to create a sandwich. Once you have created the sandwich, you're then going to take it to the machine as if by magic, poof, and you're going to sew all the way around, leaving a gap at the base there so you can turn it right side out. Then you're going to snip off the corners. So I've double snipped these corners, and I've also taken off the excess elastic. So let's do that for this last corner. So away with the excess elastic, and then 2 snips on the corner just to take out the rest of that excess fabric. Then it's turn it right side out, and the last step is just to close that little gap on the front. Now you can add quilting to this, you can add maybe a bit of a plique detail, you can maybe hand stitch onto this as well. There are lots of different ways you can take this project further, but I would say as a minimum you probably want to top stitch it. So by top stitch, that means just roll that hem right open and then put a little line of stitching all the way around that edge to hold everything in place, and that will just give you a much neater finish and kind of square off those edges a bit more for you. Just poke that corner out, the last corner, there you go. And then your last job is to just turn both of those edges in, and again, while you're top stitching, just close that gap up. So let's get our mug and test it out. Pop that on there, stretch it round, and then the elastic will just pop around the other side, and there you have your finished mug rug.